Hey guys, King Charms here. Today I'll be your judge, your jury, and your analyst, and this is the best budget team for the, well, whatever you want to call it, budget. This is the team that you don't need Sneasel, Sneasler, or Buzzwole to operate well in. This team is very powerful. The only thing that's really kind of out of your reach is Hakamo, but you just need Hakamo. You don't need Kamo or anything like that. Hakamo, you can, and it can be single moved. You just need Dragon Claw on it. And that's pretty much it. It's Hakamo, Toxicroak, and Poliwrath. You can interchange Poliwrath in the back for anything, but this team does extremely well. Hakamo is really powerful in this cup because there's nothing that really beats it outright in a 2-shield. In a 2-shield, it's nuts, and because of the fact that Dragon Tail was buffed, and it only takes 4 Dragon Tails to get to a Dragon Claw, along with the absolute nutty freaking case with the fact that Dragon Tail does so much damage over time, and fast moves go through literally anything at this point. So, yes. This features Hakamo, Toxicroak, and Poliwrath. You can replace Poliwrath with something in the back. I just like Poliwrath in the back because it can cover other ice types. It's also one of the fastest chargers in the Fighting Cup. So, it can either Scald. I'm running Scald and Ice Punch. You can also run Dynamic Punch if you want to. I just like Scald because of the attack debuff, and you also get Stab. So, Scald, the attack debuff is really nice. But before we get started, this is going to be my therapist mental health tip of the day, and it's going to be about worry. So this is going to be about Worry Bugs. So Worry Bugs is this really interactive tool. It's for children, and it's really cute, okay? But it's a fun, engaging colorway to teach children about worry and anxiety. So psychoeducation is a lot of the things, and it's actually a lot of, even though it's designed for like 5 to 10, it's very valid for like anyone. And then because after each activity, you basically review everything, and it lets you choose coping and relaxation skills, or you can create your own. So yes, it's technically ages 5 to 10, but it's cute, and it's really super easy. So if you want to use this tool, and a lot, like for example, worrying about Go Battle League or worrying about Pokemon Go PvP, all this other stuff. So, and just about daily life in general. So, worrying is never nice because there's, again, the anxiety and the worry that comes along it is always never nice. And this is a fun little tool you can use for either your children or yourself and it's really simple and really it's cute. And without further ado, not before we get started, this is my top, well, I'm going to call it budget team, but really it's just a team without, let's call it the team that doesn't need Sneasler or anything like that to be really good and competitive in this league. Not further ado, let's get started. Alright, here are the battles. This team does not feature Sneasler, Buzzwole, or Hisuian Seasonal. Nothing accessible. These 3 are pretty accessible. As you see here, we got Haka on Haka, and this is the mirror match from hell. I don't know why you'd want to switch out though. To easily win the mirror match, if you get the mirror, just wait for the simultaneous knockout, or if they throw first, then you'll win it. As you see here, switching, you don't even need to switch out of Toxicroak. Because they came in late, you're going to just be able to get all of this energy on Dragon Tail. You don't really, unless it's a Lucario, even if it's Lucario, you don't really need to switch out of anything. Dragon Claw does so much damage over time that it's ridiculous. Even if Lucario is in, it does like 20% of its HP. So there's more pressure on your opponent to Shadow Ball you death than the other way around. Yes, I go down both shields, however, I have a ton of energy. I sent in my Toxicroak against this Sneasel just because of the fact that I want those Dragon Tails banked. And it was kind of just a flash switch, to be honest with you. I was like, okay, let me break this last shield and save all of this energy and just absolutely murk this poor Sneasler in the back. Or this poor Hisuian Sneasel, and then I have a ton of energy rollers in the back. They have to blow their energy here. I can send in Haka, but what I'm going to do here is manipulate the timer a little bit. Usually I'll send in around an interval of like 2 or something like that, but as you see, my opponent switches out to a Hackable right away, which is perfectly fine. The reason being is because I can still get to another Dragon Claw, and I believe, and even though my IVs are really crappy, as you see here, I matched up with the second Dragon Claw. I had all the faith in the world in that move. That was my only win condition, and as you see, the timer just goes out enough for me to get to this Ice Punch, and that's game. One Aerial Ace will not kill Poliwrath at full HP or near full HP just because of the fact that Sneasler doesn't get stabbed. As you see here, I'm going to be able to get the Scald, and then Scald should KO this poor Hisuian Sneasel. You can run Dynamic Punch if you want to. I just like Scald because of its ability to debuff, and you also get the same type of attack bonus. You get the same thing with Dynamic Punch, however, Dynamic Punch is resisted against a lot of things. So you only have Ice Punch at the option, but either one's not the wrong answer. We got Haka into Toxicroak. And what I'm going to do here is just the same thing you saw last battle. Just stay in. You outpace Toxicroak with Dragon Tails. You won't outpace in the first one, but as you see here, they will fire a Mud Bomb, and then they will win CMP. However, you're going to be able to break another shield. What you should ideally do is you should just keep dragging. You should just honestly keep attacking, so you get that extra Dragon Tail through. Because as you see, it'll force them on CMP anyways. As you see here, they get one through, but that's perfectly fine. I'm going to shield the second one and let the Dragon Tail through. If it doesn't KO, I actually want not to KO because I want more energy. And as you see, our opponent switches out into a Poliwrath. This is okay though, because all we're going to do here is we're just going to Dragon Claw. When you have Poliwrath on Haka, as you see, those Mud Shots aren't doing any damage at all. They charge energy fast for Poliwrath, but what makes it really dangerous, my Haka is literally just revving up. My opponent has to blow their energy. They don't have a choice. And then what I can do here is I can send in Poliwrath even if they don't have... if they're running Scald Ice Punch, that's great, because then I'll be able to send my own Poliwrath, and now I can go ahead and just Scald down. Even if I Dynamic Punch, that's perfectly fine. I still have a whole Toxicroak to deliver to my opponent in the back. You'll lose the lead, you say switch into Toxicroak. It's really that simple. And as you see here, I'm going to get a little more extra roots, and then I'm going to fire Scald. Probably got one more, but I don't know if, well, they were running Scald Dynamic Punch, but I don't know what their exact energy is, and I just want to get them KO'd. I already got the little extra energy I needed, and it's a Haka. So all I have to do is I'm going to fire this Ice Punch, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send in Toxicroak. I won't die to one Dragon Claw, but at the same time, I don't want to make it to where my poor Poliwrath is going to literally get dressed Dragon Tail down because Poliwrath is already in kill range. They fire Dragon Claw, that's perfectly fine. I should be able to get to a Mud Bomb. I do one over though because I'm expecting him to catch, but then I notice it doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. Even if they do catch, I should be able to just counter down. As you see here, Hakamo's low enough to where the counters will be a simultaneous KO, and then because I still have Poliwrath alive, I win the battle. So either way, it didn't matter. I didn't even need to do what I did, but hell, it worked out. Next, we got Heracross and a Haka. As you see, you don't really need to switch out of anything. As you see, all we're going to do is we're going to stay in. They switch in a Toxicroak, and this is exactly what you want. Heracross is it's the poor trainer's Buzzwole, to be honest with you. As you see, they heat a whole Dragon Tail, and all I'm going to do is send in Poliwrath. I fire the Ice Punch, however, they get a move off. And this is likely going to be a Mud Bomb or a Sludge Bomb, but I don't want to take the damage either way. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to get one more over, and then I'm going to fire this Ice Punch. The reason being, I don't want to give up a second shield. They give up their second shield, though, so my brain, they gave up a shield, though, so my brain is like, what? So I'm like, all right, cool. That's perfectly fine with me. I'm going to shield the second move, and it's a Sludge Bomb, which is perfectly fine. We're going to farm this thing down. I know I have Heracross to contend with. However, I'm not carrying Dynamic Punch. I'm going to fire a Scald, and hopefully I get the debuff as well. Scald goes through. This should do big damage with Stab, and it does. As you see, it's nuts, and we get the debuff. That's exactly what we wanted here. Heracross has to either fire a Mega Horn or a Close Combat, otherwise it dies, because Rock Blast is resisted by pretty much almost every Rock Blast is resisted by almost every mon in this meta, except for like Buzzwole and Heracross itself, because it does neutral damage. Ice Punch goes through. They may have one shield, but I have 3 whole Pokemon. They send in Shadow Champ, but Shadow Champ has to expend its energy here. And all I have to do is just literally have Toxicroak go to town. Toxicroak will completely wall Machamp because Poison resists fighting, and Poison resists fighting, and then Rock Fighting type resists Rock. So no matter what they do at this point, all I have to do is just literally fast move down, and that's game. We take it down to Pound Town, right? That sounds so wrong. Yeah, forget the last 10 seconds of dialogue right there. That sounded very, very wrong. We got Haka on a Farfetch'd, and I was like, is that a Galarian Farfetch'd? Why? It looks like it's air guitaring its way to victory. Dude, this is not Guitar Hero. And it's fun, but like the problem is look at how much damage Haka is glassy, mind you. Look how much damage Fury Cutter is doing. It's doing like nothing. I do know you have a Brave Bird though. I'm not that. I've been Brave Birded by a G-Fetch before, and yeah, it's happened before. That's how I learned. That's how you learn. You get hit by stuff, you know what I mean? And you're like, oh, that thing has Brave Bird? What the hell? And yeah, that day was a very terrible day. But as you see here, all we're going to do is go ahead and we're just going to Dragon Tail our way to victory. We have Toxicroak and we have Poliwrath for the back row. I should be able to get the Dragon Claw before they get to another move, and I do because of that energy lead. Our opponent's either going to break one shield or they're going to let go of Toxicroak, which they do. And they send in their Farfetch'd. So this was, and I'm like, oh god. The reason I'm like, oh god, is because Leap Blade does big damage. It doesn't kill, but does a lot of damage. As you see here, barely live. Barely. I have a rank 7 Poliwrath. This is actually a Japanese Poliwrath. I caught this during Yokohama Go Fest when I went to Japan, and dang, I can't wait to go back to Japan. I miss it so much. I miss it so much. Because of Rona, we can't go. Japan's borders are still closed, but I really want to go. This is going to be a Brave Bird, by the way. Burb is the word, and oh my god. As you see here, we're going to get both Dragon Tails through. And remember how I mentioned that Fury Cutter does like no damage? Or very little damage? Yeah. That was terrible. All I did was just Dragon Tail down. Now we got already Legend on Legend action, and it's a Toxicroak onto Haka. You already know how we do this thing. We literally just Dragon Tail our way to victory. Seriously, you don't need a second move. Just take Dragon Claw and just go to town. Literally, this is amazing. Haka lead is just beautiful. We're going to go ahead and fire Dragon Claw here. And this should break a shield. And then our opponent is going to blow their energy. Now we're going to shield this. If it's a Sludge Bomb, it's going to suck. If it's a Mud Bomb, it still does a decent amount of chip damage. So then all we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to fire this Dragon Claw. And they happen to catch us on CMP, which kind of sucks. But I'm just going to let Haka go. It's perfectly fine. Because we can send our own Toxicroak and get extra farm, which is a way you could play out. As you see here, extra farm matters a lot in the Fighting Cup because it allows you to get to a second move, break your opponent's shields, and then sweep in the back row. And we get a Heracross. I'm like, that's a Heracross. However, I'm going to straight Sludge Bomb. My opponent probably thinks I'm gonna bait because they're like, oh, you know what? That's fine. But no, I don't bait. And as you see, the Sludge Bomb KOs the freaking Heracross. That's freaking nutty. Oh my god, that was terrible. In fact, dang. Holy crap, that's when I was like, wow, Heracross dies to one freaking Sludge Bomb, wow. And the problem with Sneasler is that Hisuian Sneasler is not faster than Toxicroak. You will get to 2 Mud Bombs, I have a shield, and it doesn't matter. I still have a whole Poliwrath either way, and that's GG's. I yeeted your Toxicroak at the face of the planet, and screw your Hisuian Sneasler, but good trainer. That was a great battle. But despite that, I was able to, yeah, that was just absolute annihilation. I hope y'all enjoyed the battles, GG's. And that's game. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. As you see, this team, Haka is nuts. You don't need a second move with it, and coupled with Toxicroak safe switch, or the fact that with Hakamo, you don't really need to switch out of anything at all. You could literally just stay in. You never have to switch out with Hakamo. You could just literally stay in and Dragon Tail your way to victory. If you get the mirror match, let them fire first or force a simultaneous knockout. Because if they fire first, your Dragon Tail that go through, you can farm them down, and then you can go ahead and throw the Dragon Claw in the back. That's how you win the mirror match in the lead. But you essentially don't need to switch out of any mod with this team. You could just literally stay with Hakamo, never switch out. And then if you need to switch out, or if you want to, you could send in Toxicroak. But there's no safe switch. You don't need a safe switch with Hakamo. And I hope y'all enjoyed the battles. You have 125 extra battles from the 18th to the 23rd. So you have access to Great League as well. This is your best chance to make Legend. Fighting Cup is really simple, and I would say is a lot easier, but if you don't have the components to build, then Great League is your jam. And if you don't want to get through your sets really quickly, because in Fighting Cup, you can run through battles so quickly, and it's very time-saving. Especially with the fact that you have double the sets coming. So, again, this is your best chance to make Legend. I'm hoping to make my final Legend poke, but just like Worrybug, etc., I just really don't care. This is just for fun, but I'm really enjoying getting my sets done really fast, thanks to Haka, and Dragon Tail is a beast. And this team, this team is like, it's gonna help you a lot. If you don't have Buzzwole, Sneasler, or Hisuian Sneasler. And you saw me rip through Hisuian Sneasler in the shoutcast anyways. Hope really y'all choose. Do me a favor, please like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. I really appreciate y'all that do that. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I do stream, and I'm really looking forward to streaming again. But again, I got accepted into the school. Getting a local government position is really hard, and this somehow I was able to clutch out one, like, having only technically 1 year of experience, 3 combined with my crisis counseling experience. I'm glad I made it, but also one of my colleagues from my last place I worked at also made it, so getting to work with her again is going to be a lot of fun. So yes, I'm really excited. Still going to stream Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but the 4th day is going to be like probably in the evening or something like that. But regardless, I really do appreciate y'all, and for all your support, thank you so much. Good luck on your Go Leagues, and I will see y'all on the next video.